Okay,
What's
go
up,
ahead.
guys? Welcome back to the Animation Revaluation podcast. I am your host, Lizerville. Apparently, I am the brand, and every day is a renaissance. I am here, as always, with Jay and James. What's up, guys?
Yo,
What is up, guys? I'm here live on WonderCon.
Yeah, WonderCon, man. And James is here as well with Jess. She's in the background. I don't know if she's going to be taking part or, if she even wants to, but you might hear her in the background. She's there.
Yeah.
I don't know if she can hear me or not, but
She can't really hear you, but I think she's listening it to like on YouTube, like with her
okay.
AirPods, so like she can hear you because she can't really hear you guys.
Okay. But yeah, you guys are at WonderCon right now, so I don't want to take up too much of your time. So let's just.
No, take your time, take your time. No, there's no rush. I can hear you now. She says she can hear you.
Awesome.
there's a lag.
Yeah, so I don't know. There's not much build up. If I was to ask what are you guys up to, I'm sure one answer would be WonderCon. So how about you, Jay? What are you up to?
Spending a Friday night with my homies.
Oh, you have people over?
Is that
That's crazy.
we are the homies?
No way. I've never been a homie before. Crazy.
Crazy.
But yeah,
How's everyone
I
feeling?
mean, I got a new water bottle. But
Nice. You got a magic water bottle.
Nice.
yeah, pretty much.
You should show it to our audience.
Yeah, hold it up next to your face. Take a selfie.
Exactly.
Post it on your Twitter.
I was like, that's the brand.
I'll edit a mustache on it so no one knows it's you.
Nice. Or like maybe we need. I don't know if we need to censor the brand, like their brand.
Oh, probably.
Yeah.
I don't.
They're gonna
I mean, unless
sue
you want to like
$20,000. I'm like, bro, I got like $2.
I mean, I don't know. You're representing them. You know, like you're like we're giving free advertisement to that company.
Isn't that
So,
so
like, I don't
weird
know.
how they can
Like, why-
like somebody can sue you for having their brand in your thing, but it's like free advertisement.
Yeah, like I don't understand that very well. I'm like if I see a brand that I love, like I wouldn't mind just doing it for free because like, hey guys, like I'm not getting paid or sponsored or anything of this. I'm getting because I like it. You should like it too,
Yeah.
or look into it. But I mean, I don't really know how that works.
Perfect example of that would be G Fuel. Now G Fuel is just start going into like an ad immediately. Whoa,
That's
Jess, thank you so much. She's literally sitting here, kind of part of the podcast. She's like, I'm gonna give subs. Thank you, much appreciated. Yeah, let's jump into this. We watched an anime this week, Seraph of the End.
Yes.
Jay, this was yours.
Yes, sir.
What do we got, buddy?
Okay. So, to keep it about as simple as possible, with the least amount of confusion.
Anime toilet.
basically-
Thank you for watching.
People are living their basic, their normal day-to-day lives, but apparently a virus had spread. I think it was basically widespread
Hmm.
across the world. It was like a worldwide spread of this virus. It was very lethal, but it only affected like a certain age range, which I found pretty weird, but I don't want to get into that.
What was it? It was
It's like World War Z meets Twilight.
It was
Yeah.
13 and up, right?
It was 13 and older if you got affected by this virus.
That was the rating. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought that was the rating of it.
And so the adults, anyone basically over the age of 13 and older could catch this virus and basically immediately just die. And literally saw like multiple people at once. Just they could be crossing the street or driving a car, or flying a plane for that matter, and just contract this virus and basically die minutes later.
Yeah, that was kind of like the opening scene.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was
Yeah,
like,
I think I
that's
told
one
you,
way
it's
to
pretty
catch someone's
crazy.
attention.
I told you like I loaded it up and I made it like 10 seconds in before I was like, whoa, what the fuck? It gave me massive like when we watched Vivi, because that's how Vivi just started with action, and I was like, what the fuck is happening? That's how this one started off.
It seemed like a mass like a bunch of like names on death notes like all at once, and
Yeah.
like that's what it kind of seemed like, because they just like clutched their like heart and just died.
Yeah.
So I'm like it kind of gave me like that kind of death, but like in mass.
But it kind of pans over to a group of children making their ways through the streets, trying to get back home. Amidst the chaos of what's going on. Forgot already.
Nice.
Well, you have the main characters.
I
Was
mean,
it
I'll go
you?
through like the major ones for the simple fact that some things don't
Yeah.
always end as they started.
Yeah.
But
As usually how it is.
yeah. So we have I call him Yu, but his name is Yuichiro. I can't pronounce that.
Yuichiro.
I think it's like you. Oh
I'm
yeah,
not
you're
even
right. It's
making
kind of
the
hard to
attempt.
say.
I'm not.
I can't even do it.
Hyakua.
Hyakuya. Oh, Hyakuya's either, yeah.
Yeah.
You
And
Haku.
Mikaela Hyakuya. These two are the oldest in the Hyakuya orphanage, and we find out a little bit about Yuichiro and how he ended up in the orphanage, which is basically, parental dysfunctionality, but it's not your typical your typical ACS call.
I shouldn't have laughed at that. I'm sorry.
I don't even know what that is.
I'll explain it later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But basically, Yuichiro did not get along with his dad. Dad tried to basically murder him. Mom, I believe, again, thought he was a demon child and basically offed herself. And that led him to the orphanage. I don't know that much about Mikaela, but I already know one thing is that his parents probably didn't love him because they named him that. It's not that common.
Okay.
To all the
It's just a
Michaela,
personal.
all
Yeah.
the Michaelas out there, it's like no offense. It's a wonderful name.
Michaela's a
Beautiful
great
one.
name, but
It's
for
a
little
great name,
boy-
but
Yeah.
doesn't fit him at all.
Yeah.
But basically, they get back to the orphanage, and their guardian, I like to call them, just face down in the face down on the rug.
I think it was like they called it the director, but I imagine it was
yeah,
like like the one in charge of the orphanage, I guess.
the orphanage. Yeah,
Yeah.
and you hear over like the loudspeakers, like whatever district they're in. I don't necessarily know specifically, but it's like due to circumstances, this area is now under the protection of it's like, I think it's the Tepish faction or something similar to that.
Yeah.
And simply put, the Tepish faction are vampires. Simply put. But
Probably could have
they
gathered that from the Tepish name.
yeah.
I even said it. I was like, really? They're gonna do a vampire anime and use the fucking Tepish name?
Crazy.
I was like, let me guess.
Who would've seen
This
that
guy's named
coming?
Alucard, huh?
But
I'd be, that's a good name.
Yeah, because Vlad Tepes is just Dracula.
mhm.
Yeah.
They Mikhaila, Yuichiro, and the other Hyakki kids are all basically cornered into a room by like two other vampires and basically taken to like a underground facility where they are basically used for their blood to. They're basically treated as livestock at this point.
Yeah.
You know, they're given the basic necessities to survive.
And even then, like, just barely.
Yeah, it's the bare minimum, like the closest you can get.
Like
But
Happy Meals every day.
okay. I don't know if that's bare minimum.
The sad meal.
This sad, yeah.
I mean, like, if you really if you actually boil down to it, like, if you had one Happy Meal and that's all you had to eat today, I think that would turn into a sad meal. I mean, like, if like you had to get that every day, I think it as a Happy Meal. But then I also would be great. It would be also the grateful meal because I was like, you know what, you should be grateful because at least you're having a Happy Meal compared to nothing. Also,
Just do like my mom.
well, I mean,
like,
I don't.
There's kids starving in Africa.
Yeah, I always go to that. Like, I grew up with that kind of mindset. I was like, there's kids at Ethiopia. Like, they're fat, but it's all air. Like, it's just like,
God.
it's just like I know, this is terrible.
Yeah, I got slapped up once because my mom told me that. It's like, there's kids starving in Africa who would kill for this food. And I was like, so send it to them. And,
Yeah. Yeah. Fucking send it. Fucking let him eat your I don't know. I don't want to say your food is shitty because I don't know.
But it kind of goes. It pans again over to a host. Basically, I don't know how often it is, but it's basically a blood collection. But it's like 1,000. I'd say there's about like thousands of kids in
It was like
this
it
underground
was like a blood farm,
city. Basically,
like a factory. Yeah.
it's just like so many children. They get ID'd. They have like collars, all wearing the same like clothes,
yeah, like this white
and
uniform.
always observed by like you know vampires. Like they're just constantly being watched, basically.
Like Promised Neverland status.
Yeah.
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 So you gets his blood drawn, Kayla gets his blood drawn, and they're given like I don't know what it is, but it's quote unquote, I'd like to say in quotation marks sustenance. And
Yeah.
Michaela's like basically busting this shit out. You on the other hand just like I'm tired of this. I don't want to do this anymore. This tastes like ass.
You're 12. How do you know what ass tastes like? Go to your room.
He's just complaining that it just doesn't taste good, and he gets like shit.
It was like one of
he
those
gets
Was it
synthetic
curry?
food pouches.
It's like
Oh
it's
no,
like
yeah, it was yeah. It was like the it was like it was like Capri Sun packaging, but the inside was like Pepto Bismol kind of like color.
Oh no!
It was like Capri Sun with Pepto Bismol flavor is what it looked
I would
like.
have
So
just
like
said
if I
squeezable
make
pouches of applesauce, but
Yeah.
that too.
Baby food.
yeah, basically. But he's just upset that Mika's taking this so lightly, but it's like he's trying to explain to him sometimes you just have to like do what you have to do to survive, because they're only 12, so at this point in the game is do what you have to do, listen, don't make like any really like foolish mistakes, you'll be just fine, and
Get in line.
yeah, basically
Earn your
get in
place
line
kind of
and
thing.
be all right until things
Be
eventually
complacent.
get better, in quotation marks. But
Question mark.
two of like the younger kids basically get their hands stepped on by like vampires that are walking by, and you causes a scene, and basically almost gets dropped, like from a very high place, and he's just like, I'm this close to beating his ass, I can do it. Meanwhile, he's being basically choked out,
He's
arm's
just
length, and can barely
manhandled.
reach the guy. Yeah, he's just getting manhandled.
That's good.
I was like, yeah, you're definitely getting him there, buddy. But again, Mika, persuades the vampires to not basically fucking kill him. And is like, he's not in his right mind. He hasn't eaten today. And where I'd like to introduce the asshole of this anime. I hate this guy with a burning passion by the name of Farid Bathory. This pretentious prick is the most stick stuck up his ass character I've seen in a very long time. He's so full of himself, and it's very this guy's very fucking weird.
Yugi, my boy.
he gives me Pegasus vibes. And
Well, I think that's what he was kind of going for, right? Because he's a he's a noble, right? I think.
Yeah, he's a noble. He's one of the
So,
not progenitor.
He has progenitor blood.
he was like Yeah, he's like I don't know. He's not the third progenitor. Not
He's like the seventh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but he's like
he's still close enough to get invited to the meetings.
Yeah, he still gets invited to the. Yeah, he's the seventh progenitor. So,
like he gets to sit at the kids' table at the at the rich party.
at the big meetings, he gets to sit at the kids' table.
Yeah, pretty much.
But he basically stops the vampire from dropping you off of whatever structure they were on that was really high off the ground, and goes on about, because apparently him and Michaela know each other like really well, and it was also given that Michaela.
It was actually almost borderline like know him too well. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
it was that kind of.
Yeah.
It was just like it made me uncomfortable. I didn't like it. I was like, Yugi, my boy.
Yeah,
Come to my room.
It got really. And I've only seen the sub for this, so watching the dub for like the second or the third time through changed like the context of like everything.
Yes, it does. They also say Michaela a little bit too.
Yeah, Michaela. I think it's like Michaela.
Wait, did you also watch the dub, James?
Yeah, I watched the dub. Because I've seen this before, so
we're dead. D-E-D.
D-E-D.
Oh, that one's what we're D-E-D dead. I was like, bro, that's not how you spell that. But then they're illiterate, so I'm like, I can't
It
get
wasn't
mad.
funny to me until Jay goes, "That's not what happens in the song." I fucking lost it.
Oh,
that gave me fucking what was it? Fuck. This God damn it. It's the dub of the anime. That's good.
That's why I watch both sub and dub, because like for those little instances like that, sometimes it's just like
Ghost Stories level.
Ghost Stories level, yeah. Just for that one part though. I was like, okay.
Dude, I would love to see like if just like any anime get a Ghost Stories level dub.
Oh no.
Just give it to
I would like this one. This one should get one of those. Absolutely.
Like Well, what are those like a bridge kind of thing, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be funny. Like I wouldn't mind seeing something like that.
But a little fast forward to nighttime of this episode, and you comes home, and the kids greet him that are from the orphanage, and uh, one of them lets him know that they're having like curry tonight, and he's like, with real meat, and they were like, yeah, we're having curry tonight with actual meat, and just like, okay. It's like, where'd you get it from? He was like, it's like Michaela dropped it off, and he knew exactly where it came from. He's like, that's crazy.
Is it
And
so weird that like their curry kind of looked like almost like anime like food porn? Like it just looked like the best curry a little bit. Like if you know what I
It was
mean.
just really well done.
Like
Yeah.
like the it's like especially like the lead off after it. Like it makes a lot of sense. Kind of like it made it seem like it's like to me because like I kind of forgot, but it kind of gave me vibes like a Last Supper, kind of like a last meal kind of thing, you know.
Yeah.
But go on.
so they make the curry, and you decides he's just not going to eat because one, he knows exactly where it came from, and two, Michaela's doing the thing he always does is basically like shouldering all the burden, so no one else has to. But you doesn't eat. All the other kids go to bed. You stays up and waiting for Michaela to get back. Kayla gets back. They have their conversation, and Michaela is like, "Here's your food. You better fucking eat."
You're gonna need your strength.
Yeah. He's like, "You're gonna need your strength for tonight, cause we're leaving." And I was like, "Oh, this can't be good." But they have a map. Kyla pulls out the gun, and I was
He
just like,
pulled out the grippy, bro.
bro, he pointed at him too, and I was just like, that's not proper
He's
gun
like, I'm not gonna
safety.
eat this food. He just pulled out the gun, and I was like, oh.
You better eat.
Because that's how it was presented for a moment. It was like, you're gonna eat or I'm gonna fucking shoot you. I think I was in the middle of telling you something, and then he just does that. I'm like, what the fuck?
It's like I looked away for 1 second.
It's like, this is not what I
It
was
had the
expecting from
safety
this
on though,
anime.
right?
What safety?
What safety,
There's
bro?
a
That was a
safety?
flintlock pistol.
I didn't. Yeah, so I'm like, I for some reason like I guess I didn't really analyze like the way it was because I kind of felt like there was like a little safety at the end of it
No, that's
because
not a
it
safety.
felt like
That's the hammer.
oh oh
Yeah, the only safety on
shit.
that shit was God.
Does it get safer than that?
And just prayed and have a spasm.
Yeah. Like with the speed he pulled it out,
Yeah.
it could have went off.
It could have went off, yeah, and that would have just
It
been
totally
messy.
yeah. It just end right there.
Yeah,
Episode one.
credits roll.
But they after they both eat, the mom of the group, which I'll give her a mention because she's important.
Oh yeah,
I
I
think
don't have
she's
a picture
important.
of her.
That's fine. I think I do.
I couldn't find a name or anything.
Her name is Akane,
Oh.
but
All I
she's
know is what I said
basically
about her.
yeah. She has mom hair.
I was
Yeah,
like, she has the anime death hair.
she has. And then I looked at it again, and I was like, "Oh, you're right."
Shit.
But she comes back down, and she's like, "What? You guys are still up?" And it was like, "Yeah." They just basically explained. It was like, "Hey, we're leaving. Go get the other ones." And they do exactly that. Sneak out in the can't even tell fucking night and day in there. They can weirdly,
No, they said it
even though
was
it's like
night, so just
I
believe them.
know they said it was night, but I'm convinced that they're just completely underground.
Could be. I
But
mean,
they
like,
make their way
yeah.
through
Sorry.
the city itself, following the map that Michaela had. and they make it to the top floor, and you know the exit is right across, you know, the fucking giant marble floor.
It was like all white.
It was, bro, that shit was so clean it looked like you could eat off of it. That shit was shiny. But
Yeah.
they get like halfway across the floor, and Mr. Farid Bathory is just waiting for them at the end of the hallway, and it's like,
Yugi, my boy. You betrayed me.
He's-
Guy, my boy.
you know,
The
from
boy
start
who
to
lived
finish.
has come to die.
But basically, from start to finish, he was orchestrating this. He left the map out on
Yeah.
purpose. He left the gun out on purpose. Well, he didn't know about the gun
No,
until
he
they
didn't
pulled
know
it
about the
out.
gun. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's like, oh
but
shit, there's a
the
gun.
map was on purpose.
It's like, I had a
Yeah, he was
gun?
like, oh shit. um, and the essential was just him having a whole kick out of it, for whatever strange reason that was. The kids show, but you know, whatever.
He has a snuff kink.
Marker? I don't know. What's it. Marker?
We lost him.
Do you not? I hear you. You hear me?
No.
Oh, man.
Yeah, he just like fucking eradicates everyone.
Yeah. With only you as the only survivor. And he makes his way out of the underground to the surface, sees the whole world covered in snow, and I might as well. But
Like I can see what you meant by like underground, because like they were like in a like what looked like a facility underneath, and like when they went outside, it was like I think the sky was different. It was like dark and snowy, so it was like a different like aesthetic, different like scenery. I understand what you meant. Like it kind of like gave us vibes. Like it was like an artificial like kind of facility, and like you know.
yeah.
Maybe they say it later, but in the world of this anime, are vampires like weak against light?
They do mention it, because even Ferret himself mentioned, he's like, once you get outside, you know, it's hard for us to really track you.
Because like they never outright say it, but the fact that anytime we did see them outside, they had the hoods on.
Yep.
But at the same time, I could see that being like hiding their features. So I wasn't 100% sure.
Could be.
It's a little bit of both, to be honest.
But that would
We
explain
don't know
why
too
they
much.
were like inside that facility, like everything's encased, there's no light.
Yeah, everything's like in, like without, it's like there's no like actual sunlight coming into that facility whatsoever. Everything's artificial. So I didn't make the assumption that you're correct.
Yeah.
But right before the first episode ends, he runs into the lieutenant colonel of the Imperial Demon Army by the name of Gurren Ichinos.
Fuck.
Nice.
Ichinose.
I know it's Ichinose. I like saying Ichinos.
God damn it,
Ichinos.
Discord, why don't you
Got it.
accept this type of picture?
I know. It did. I saw it.
But in between episode 1 and 2, for your time skip, apparently you got put on the front lines, did some dickhead shit, didn't work with the group, got suspended. Now he's spending his time with civilians, in school, separated from the rest of his actual classmates.
Gets called a virgin.
That too. By the little shit.
It's like, you can't be on my team if you're a cherry boy. I was like, bro, what the fuck? Like, you gotta make a friend or get a girlfriend or something. I don't take cherry boys. It's like, excuse me?
He's very blunt about it too.
Yeah.
It's very big asshole.
This show has a lot of
But
like sexual undertones.
I agree with
A
you.
lot.
Yeah, I agree. Well, I think it's because like I know they do mention it earlier. It's just kind of like the that like that there's only 10% of the humanity left, so they got to repopulate. So they're like, you got to get with people, get connections. You got to repopulate. You
make
just gotta
friends.
Yeah, that makes sense. But how come
like
the
make
vampires are
friends.
also horny?
I don't know what to say about that.
I don't want to talk about that.
Because I mean,
exactly.
but like, also look at this. Or I was gonna save this for later, but fuck it, whatever. They have this thing, right? Age of consent in Japan is 13, right? Let's put that out there. They have this disease in which it affects you when you turn 13, right? So that's the age of consent. The vampires want blood from people 12 and under. And they make it very, very sexualized. And like this like homoerotic undertone is also put in it, because we mostly see male characters. And I was like, this is giving me massive like gay pedophile vibes. I was like, I am not comfortable at all.
I mean, it's kind of what you expect when you have like fucking like vampire Pegasus.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was the biggest cause of that.
100%.
Yeah, I think that was like the
big
big cause of it. Yeah.
But it happens very faintly from like, especially in episode 2, because we end up meeting 2 more characters. One I just kept making fun of because all the other characters made fun of him.
Oh, the one that was dry humping him?
Yeah. He's basically a wuss at that
fuck,
point.
I can get a picture of him.
I got you.
Just realized. He's that forgettable. Fucking whoops.
Oof. But let me introduce Yoichi Saotome. Say not specifically a classmate of Yu's, but let's just say they become friends very quickly, and it's not by Yu's choice overall. It's more of Yoichi attaching himself to you at the very beginning. But it plays itself out really well, to be honest. But simply put, he gets bullied. End of story. He's basically he hates conflict, and he gets picked on specifically for that.
He's a pacifist that wants to join the army.
Which I'll get into as well. The other character that you is introduced to.
Yes.
You're very excited about that.
I love her.
Shinoa Haragi.
Yeah.
And I told you when this episode started, I was like, you see that girl right there? Yeah, she was best girl.
Like, I saw her hair behind him. He was sitting at the desk, and I was like, oh, that looks like a main character. You just go, that's best girl. And I didn't even respond. I was like, okay, let's see how this plays out.
I could tell you this just based on the 5 episodes. The way Gurren was treating her is the way it was my general treatment of her.
But
I was like, that's how I perceive that character.
Yeah, she's a little shit.
You kind of like
really little sister energy.
like little sister, little shit, but like you love her.
I've been getting a lot of characters like that lately, and I love it.
Yeah, you get to learn a little more later on the relationship between Shinoa and Gurren. But she's there for you, basically. She's his monitor for when he makes a friend, or monitoring his behavior. But she does it in the most condescending way, because she's just always making fun of him at every step of the way, whether he's in the right or the wrong. She just dogs him if he's in the wrong. But it's also the push that you kind of needs at this point. Do I think she went about it the right way? Absolutely not. Did it make me remember her more? Absolutely.
Oh,
Because
you
she's
have
a
no
very
friends? You
notable
should neck
character.
yourself.
I was like, oh. That day basically progresses. Yoichi gets bullied again. They exchange life stories. We get to learn a little more of why Yoichi wants to join the army, because his sister got killed by a vampire 4 years ago, and he wants to get, not necessarily, well, he wants to get like revenge for his sister, but he's not the revenge kind of person.
More like avenge.
Yeah,
Would it be more
Avenge,
avenge? Because
yeah.
avenge.
sevenfold.
Yes.
And
Good bet.
while they're at the school, alarms go off. There's an explosion, and we hear over the loudspeaker that our vampires escape testing, like the testing facility around civilians. Now there are 3 things wrong with this.
It's
You
the
have a
perfect place to have
vampire.
a testing
Yeah,
facility.
it's like, who puts a testing facility in a civilian area? Number 1. Number 2. There's a bunch of civilians around, and they said on the loudspeaker that vampires get their strength from taking blood in general. So why not have a research facility in a civilian area of wherever they're living? So Yu immediately goes to his locker, grabs the sword, grabs his gun out of his locker, and makes his way to where the vampire is. Girl lying on table, about to get bit. Dude cowering in the corner, one of the dudes that was bullying Yoichi.
Oh, the one
Basically,
that said that he was in the
he was in the
Moon
army. Yeah.
Company? Yeah.
He just said he was part of the army. He didn't
Okay.
say exactly like what he was a part of, but he said that he was enlisted in the army.
Yeah, and that he was
For clout.
he was up to get tested to join like the bigger part.
Yeah, the Black Demon Company.
She was a cute vampire though.
Yeah.
Agreed.
I also agree. But yeah, we found out he was just completely bullshitting and like shit himself. That's the simplest way I can put
He's
it.
like, get her out of here. He's like,
Uh,
what do you mean? He's like, aren't you in this?
Aren't you
Like,
in?
no, I lied. He's just straight up admitting, he's like, no, I lied. I want the
Like,
people to feel me.
bro.
Just had a massive bro moment.
Yeah.
But basically, guys still like kind of pretty much stuck there, paralyzed in fear. Yu throws down with the vampire. Very well, I might add. He's trained, just, for insubordination, suspended.
Yeah. Also, it
Held
looked like
his
she
own
was
pretty
maybe
well.
weakened because she was hungry, maybe.
Yeah, absolutely. And also unarmed.
Yeah.
So,
I found it
You know.
ironic that she picked up a steak.
yeah, she broke off a part of the chain. I was like, huh? I was like, okay, cool. But he does pretty well. They have a really good healing factor. You almost like fumbles the play basically. Yoichi basically tackles the demon. They ended up covering each other in the most like fantastic way possible. Because again, life or death situation. and then the vampire and you basically fall out of a like fucking 5-story building, hitting trees on the way down, and they
He's
basically
like
land
fine,
on
like
top of
nothing.
each other. Yeah, he's fine.
Yeah, he's fine. Like if I like back first jump out of a 5-story building,
Ooh.
my back would be fucking gone.
Bro,
Yeah, there's no amount of training
I
they
lay
can
in
do
my
for that.
bed sometimes. My back hurts when I get up.
I know.
With fucking
But
memory
they land
foam
on
extras. Don't make no sense.
They land on the
Also-
ground and they like on the grass outside of the building. She's impaled on the sword and she's like, "You really think this paper cut can kill me?" And then like Gurn's basically just there and he's like, "You were saying?"
It's like, yes, a cursed sword.
It's like
My
all you have to
one
do-
weakness.
And then we learn about how the cursed swords are a little more effective with dealing with vampires because they don't really, die by normal means. They can heal themselves. They still feel pain, yes, but without the cursed blade, they don't really do too much.
I remember she said, like, how did you get a cursed sword? Or cursed blade? And I was like, I just picked up my sword and said, fuck.
any random curse word will work.
By the
if
power of
if
fuck.
that was the extent to like make any weapon more powerful or anything, just to say like the cuss word at it, that'd be fucking amazing. Like it turns to fucking Excalibur and it's just like a pencil or like a brush or like some random ass shit.
Let's
Like your
go.
cup. You say like fuck this cup, it becomes a cursed cup. It starts I don't even know where to begin with that.
Blessed by the gods.
By the devil.
I'm trying to think. Episode 3.
That's where they're kind of like he's
like-
still kind of insistent on training and then like they kind of like spar up in the roof, right? A little bit.
Oh yeah, he gets absolutely fucking low diffed.
I
like-
just
steal
like
it
as a
from you.
separate note, like the animation done like in that like little kind of like sparring scene was like really nice. It was like a nice touch, at least
Yeah.
like for like the way that she handles her knife, because like there's only a certain amount of characters that I know that like are somewhat kind of main protagonists that like use the scythe as a weapon, and
Right.
like the is very the interesting take on like how she like uses her weapon like in combat a little bit.
Yeah, definitely.
But he goes on a little rant. He's like, she shows him her weapon, introduces him to the demon, like formalities and everything, and then he's like, I could use that. Hand it over.
Bitch.
And let's just say that was really one-sided, and I mean it was severely one-sided because he ended up getting fucking plastered to a fucking gate.
That shit
After the
almost
last-
bust open.
Yeah. After like
And
the
this is like
last
on
attack
top
she
of
hit
that,
him with.
on top of the 5-story building.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But it's
Team Rocket's
like
blasting
you can
off
obviously,
again.
you can obviously tell she's definitely well trained. There's a reason why she has
Yeah.
one of these weapons.
Curse weapon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really good with the. Honestly, one of the, I think in my opinion, prettiest scenes in the goddamn show.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Definitely.
Because I was just like, there's no way he wins this. Like even if like it was even, she just has range advantage over him.
Yeah. Also,
Yeah.
the aesthetic of the show's art is pretty nice too. I think I mentioned it to you. Like I like that the backgrounds are all like painted backgrounds.
Oh yeah, when they're on top of the school building.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even like
I did notice that.
when
Like
the
what?
demon came out of her sword, coming out of her scythe, like the way it's animated looks like it would be like if anyone's ever watched Naruto, the character Sai that he does the drawings, it
Mm.
has that type of animation to it where it's like just regular paintings come to life.
A little bit, yeah. It was kind of like well, it's because to me it kind of felt like it was like a smoke. It's like it didn't have a body, so it was just like a spirit like contained into something, so it can't like manifestate like physically. So it has like some kind of like spirit kind of like thing, and like the way they like showed that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Let me go to the gym. Again, still like you being a little shit.
That's just
not
a
wanting
good
to be
summary of
nice
the
to
show.
people. Yeah, it's just him being a little shit. Not being.
She's being a little shit. He's being a little shit.
Yeah, but he's more of the antisocial little shit.
Yeah.
He thinks that he doesn't need friends, and they're just basically trying to hammer into him. You need friends to be a part of this company, because you cannot. You won't be able to take out a vampire on your own.
Yeah, you got to be a social
Also,
shit.
why he got suspended in the first place, insubordination. Not following it in a direct order, sent him to civilian world.
Is
Am I
that the
missing
same
anything?
episode that like that one of the bullies that was bullying Yuichi?
He comes back
Ah,
and like
yes.
worships him now.
Yeah.
Like,
Two out of the
bro, it was
three
me.
of them.
He saved
Yeah,
my life.
two of them came back, and we're like, "Hey, Yoichi, after what you did yesterday, you should totally let us be your henchmen." And he's just like, "No, I couldn't allow myself to do that. I'm not that kind of person." And then we find out the real reason why is because the big dummy basically went into a unrestricted restricted area for only people that are part of the um vampire extermination unit. And long story short, he gets possessed by a demon who inhibits the axe that was in that room. Shinoa goes on to say that there are only two ways into that room. It's either you're part of the vampire extermination unit, or a demon opens the door for you.
You get invited by the demon.
Yeah, basically. It was the second one. Because he tried to open the door, it wouldn't open.
Yeah.
At first. And then it opened on its own.
Yeah. So
When
kind
the
of
other
like.
two left.
Yeah. So I'm like, it's kind of like kind of like. I don't think I could think it's kind of like Vampire Diaries. Kind of like vampires aren't allowed in unless like they gave permission. But like, just more like, you said, I kind of noticed it in that scene. Like, you was able to go in just fine, but like other people couldn't go in, at least like the commoners. But like the bully did, like because the bully got invited in by the demon.
Mm.
Yeah.
But they basically had down there, and Shinoa's like, you should not do that. You should not, because he's so fixated on getting his own weapon and doesn't want to wait for it like a normal person. And basically heads just dives right in and is just like, I got this. Which he does handle his own. And then he makes the mistake of touching the axe. And then we find out later, when you touch it, the demon that lives within the weapon proceeds to take over your mind, spirit,
It
and
it
your
feeds
body,
on
basically.
what Like I think they said that it feeds on their what is it? Their not like desires, but
Like their deepest fear and
No,
regret.
desires. Yeah, your
yeah,
regret,
something
your
like that.
desires feeds on all of
Yeah.
that. The only thing that they don't like is the big L word, love,
Oh,
which I found kind of funny.
For a second, I was gonna say Lizerville.
I'm gonna say leprosy.
But
That also been good.
basically, uh, you basically wakes up and he's like, haha, I did it. And then, he's back in the orphanage, quickly figures out, demons messing with him. And because, he notices certain things are off, Mika wouldn't say certain things to him. And it's basically what the demon does is basically manipulating you using your own memories to take over your body. But he's like, this isn't right, this isn't right. Who are you? Get the fuck out of my head type beat. And you ends up waking up after, basically screaming. He's like, did I do it? And Shino's just like, basically,
Like kinda.
kinda. You woke up on your own. You touched the demon weapon on your own, woke up and exercised the demon all at once. Congratulations.
So is it my weapon now? Nah.
No.
Doesn't tell
He
her.
gets told no a lot. It's very, very it's a whole like procedure you have to go through. But he basically gets invited to the physical class, of candidates um for the like the highest tier of these cursed weapons. And he runs into this picture.
That one guy from Kuroko Basket.
Okay.
At least that's what I thought because of the pink hair and everything.
Yeah. Hold on, I'm scrolling. I just don't remember his name off the top of my head
Shiho.
unless you have it.
Uh,
Thank you.
let's see.
Yeah. You
Yeah,
said
she
Shiho?
she
Shiho
Shiho
Kimizuki.
Kimizuki.
Alright, Shiho. Um Big asshole. Number one. Number two, he's a lovable asshole because he's doing all of this for his sister, who's infected with the same virus that
His
plagued the
dying
rest of the
sister.
world. Yeah. She ain't looking too hot.
Yeah, she got Sasuke's curse mark, level 2.
But
Pretty much.
she
And
got infected
and
with
he
the
was it.
same. Go
Oh,
ahead, James.
Sorry, I didn't. I was just kind of waiting. Like pretty much like um he isn't that like one of the reasons why he was trying to like get into the army because like the army has like better like
yeah.
what was it like
Yeah.
better medical
He was doing it for
facilities.
the benefit
It's better
benefits of.
medical facilities and they're free.
Yep. And it's 24/7.
Mhm.
And they're like better equipped to handle what she's dealing with.
Yeah.
So he's doing it for her. Him and you do not get along whatsoever. They're basically like oil and water. And
Well, also like they're almost like parallel opposites, right? Because like he's not really good at combat, and but he's like super smart. And then like, well, you it's like super good at like combat and like instincts and stuff, like whatever, like battle sense. Well,
yeah.
and like, but he's like he's dumb as like a pile of shit bricks, you know.
Yeah, Yu's very skilled in combat, but not tactical. However, Shiho, very tactical. Not the greatest in combat, but he can get it done.
Yeah.
You know what's pretty
So
interesting? That it was kind of just like a throwaway line, but I like heard it and I was like, oh shit. You had failed that test and it was like an English test or something. And they say like, well, of course you're not going to be very good at it. You've only been studying English for 4 years. We've been doing it our whole lives. If it was like a Latin test, you would pass it because you grew up around the vampires. And I was like, oh, being that we're hearing it, just as a dub or a sub, we're only hearing them talk this certain language. But he was probably speaking a different language when he was with the vampires.
I didn't even catch that. That's pretty crazy.
Maybe it's a dub only thing. I don't know. But you also
it could be. Like,
I can probably take a look at it later, but that's very, very.
That's very
minute
astute
detail, but it makes sense.
Yeah.
So, and Shiho basically rubbed it off as a shitty excuse, but I do think that that's a very big thing. It's like learning a language in 4 years is difficult.
High school. High school Spanish.
High school is very difficult.
They had Latin, English, Japanese, and it's like English spellcasting.
Oh yeah, it was like
4 different
spellcraft
tests
or
they
something.
had. Yeah, spellcraft.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh. I was like, okay, that's cool.
That's a lot of shit, bro.
That's a lot. That's a lot. They're like, what, fucking 16, 15?
Yeah.
I know.
So, it's okay. They basically go at it. Gurren basically like walks in. Their teacher's very nice, by the way. Very soft-spoken person. Yeah, she's a very soft-spoken person. Not really relevant, but Gurren comes in, sees the two arguing, kicks you into Shiho, and they're just kind of like out.
Insta KO.
Yeah, they're just fucking sprawled out on the fucking floor. And he just walks back out. I was just like, oh, okay. Basically this whole episode is just them getting their like aptitude tests. And most of them did pretty well. I think the biggest stretch of that aptitude test was Gurren standing in front of the classroom, taking out his sword and using some kind of magic from the fucking sword. Literally knocked out the entire class.
It seemed like it was like spiritual pressure or something. Like if you could stand like the spiritual pressure of the demon.
Yeah, and like the majority of the class, except like 3, which is you, Shiho, and Koichi? I almost called him Koichi.
I think it's Yuichi. But I'm not sure.
Yeah. It should be like Yoichi or something like that. But
I don't know if it was because of the dub. I like there's like a scene right there where like I already forgot the pink haired dude's name.
Shiho.
Like Shiho. He's like, yeah, Shiho. Like he clutched his head. He mentioned something about his heart. And like I feel like if that was me, I'd be like, man, like I wouldn't mind that. Like it feels like a hug in my heart, like it's being squeezed. And I was like that. I don't know.
That's a sign of cardiac arrest.
I was like, this is the only hug I've ever gotten, and I'm like, that makes me so happy.
Oh,
but that was just. I thought that was like I just took it to another level that I didn't need it to be. When I watched that, I was like, that's some dark ass stuff.
But yeah, those 3 and of course Shinoa are still standing afterwards, and Gurren's just like, all right, you 3 are with me. We're gonna go start your ceremonies. They basically
disrobing.
They get in like 2 elevators. You get in the first elevator to get to like wherever they're going, and then the second elevator to go all the way down. And they get to like this open shrine area where it's like several different like I'd like to say Oni masks, but they're not masks, they're faces. They're all different. and I think it's like 6 of them, I believe. One of them's already been taken, and then the other 5 are still there. Gurren lays out the ground rules, what you're supposed to do. You find the weapon you like, you draw it, stand on the circle, and then do what you need to do.
Do the do. Mountain Dew.
And Yu goes for the sword. Shiho goes for the dual swords. Yoichi goes for the bow.
What did Shiho get? I didn't catch that one.
Shiho got the dual swords.
Okay.
They're like two shorter blades.
Yeah, they look like shorter blades now that I'm remembering.
Dual blade users, let's go.
Oh.
Yoichi goes through his whole rerun his situation with the events of his past, with his sister sacrificing herself for him, and Demon just simply puts, he's just weak. You know, you're not strong enough to be my master. Therefore, give me your body. And long story short, he gets possessed. Shiho is with his sister. You know, it's younger Shiho caring for his sister. Sister is the demon, of course, in this hallucination. And he quickly picks it apart, you know. But he's willing to do what is necessary to become this weapon's master, and with no issue whatsoever. Yu picks up the sword and is immediately like put into the same situation that happened with him the first time. He's just completely unfazed by it. He already he's just, you know, this ain't right, this isn't it. And the demon's just
You're
like,
not my KL.
yeah, you're just like, bro, you're not fun. This ain't fun for me. And
could you try to play along?
basically, I felt the annoyance. Like, it was so good. But you basically gave the rundown. You know, I'm doing this because I want to beat I want to make sure all the vampires go extinct, no matter what. You know, I'm willing to do what is necessary. And he gets the name of his demon and does it in a pretty timely fashion. I like to say it in a pretty, because I'd only assume that shit ain't easy.
Yeah.
But the demon's name is Ashuramaru. And do I have a picture of him? I don't think I have a picture of him. But
not necessary. It doesn't have tits.
Why are you just hung up on that?
Listen, if I'm getting a cursed sword, it better have titties.
I wouldn't mind because
I know what I'm
when I
about,
hear the
son.
name, it makes me think of if you watched Shaman King and Yo's spirit. It sounded very similar. I wouldn't mind like that either. I'd be happy with whatever.
But that pretty much, Yu gets his weapon, and they exercise Yoichi from his.
Yeah, it actually ends like before we get to see the weapons or anything. They wake up, and then the next episode 6 is like the exorcism.
Yeah. But that's just a little bit into 6.
Yeah.
Because we were just kind of upset. It was like, you know, we got all this build up, and it was just like,
Yeah, and it just ends on a
cuts off
cliffhanger.
right before he gets
Come
the weapon, and it's just like, all right, we're watching 6.
pretty much.
There is something you forgot to mention about 1 through 5, though.
Oh, enlighten me. Oh, thank you.
A time skip.
No. So, over the 4 years, Mika's not dead. Even though it seemed like it. Mika is now a vampire. Number 1. 2, a progenitor now because he drank the blood of the third progenitor, Krotepish. And he's been raised by vampires for the last 4 years. But I specifically think he is under Kroll's supervision.
Yeah, it seems like he's doing stuff for them, but like he doesn't really want to. Like he still has his humanity intact.
And they vaguely talk about it, like Kroll does. I kind of forgot, but like they do mention like the name of the title, Seraphs, like the Seraphs or whatever.
Yeah,
like it's an
Seraph at the
actual
end.
thing, but
It's a tool
yeah,
or a weapon.
Yeah. So
like they brush
mentioned that
upon it.
there's
Yeah,
2 of them. Because she only mentioned 2, and we can only imagine what the 2 are, or who the 2 are. Because
exactly.
she said she had 2 of them, one of them got away, and the other one's basically partially dead. Yikes. But now what is to come is the conflict
It's so sad.
of the 2 sides, because from Girl's standpoint, they're declaring war on the humans because she found out that Yu is a part of the vampire, the anti-vampire squad, as I like to call it. And she's just like not having it. She's not happy about it at all. Because humans are. We don't necessarily know who's in the wrong at this point. We just know both sides are bad.
Basically, yeah.
Because
Do you guys also notice that like with the vampires that they're bad guys, it's kind of like it's all white and pristine, and like it made it seem like usually like light is good, dark is bad, but it seemed like they did like the opposite way, like this nice, clean, and like what looks like all nice and almost holy was actually the evil one, and then like the demons and like the literally dark looking at shit. Like even if you remember like the demons, like the like demon's door that they were trying to invite him in, there was like a bunch of like seals like all over, and just look like if you literally saw that from afar, it's like a big nope. That's like you wouldn't like see that. Like normal people will see that and be like, "Oh man, look at all these like wards and all shit. Let me just go inside."
Yeah, let me just have a gander.
Who's the gander? Because like, why?
But yeah, that's pretty much it. So, what do you guys think about it?
Well, given I've picked it, I still enjoy it. It's quite. It'll be 7 years old in July. So I still think the animation holds up. It's really good. Story's pretty good. Animation's pretty good. Build-up's a little slow, but it fills out like everything you really need to know. I give it a solid 7.5.
James?
I mean, so far, I also would rate it. I actually would rate it an 8. Actually, I did like it. Like I mean, I forgot about it. Like I watched it and I forgot about it, and then like I liked it, and like even after like watching the 5, I was like, I want to watch the 6.
Yeah,
Like I
especially
kind
because
of
it
like
ends on
want to
like that
rewatch it again.
cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Like I want to see.
So I'm
what.
like, man, I was like, do I need to rewatch this whole again? And it's like there's 24 episodes, I think. So like they don't like there's a lot like that needs to be covered. But yeah, I mean, I rated it an 8. Yeah.
think for me,
It,
I'd probably say 7. It's good. I like the storyline. The animation's really good. Um, like you said, Jay, it's a little like slow with the build up, but it is a bit of a longer anime, and there's more than one season, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
there's a
yeah,
second season.
So they have a lot more time to
there's a
build up
movie too,
stuff.
right? I think,
Probably.
or no?
It's either a movie or an OVA. It's one
Yeah.
of those.
OVA is just a mini movie.
Okay. Yeah.
This is something that I like looking at it now, having seen the first 6 episodes. It's not something that's like at the top of my list to continue watching, but like if I'm just bored one day and I want something to do and I don't want to continue anything else, I can see myself watching this. I know I'll eventually finish it because I am interested and I've seen some things already that I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. So I think, yeah, like a 7. Pretty decent. It's entertaining, at least.
Yeah, and fucking Shinoa being a little shit that she is.
Yeah, she makes the show for me. I just love the
Yeah.
little sister characters that are like little shits. That gets me all the time. Can't stand my actual
Yeah, in
little
a show
shits.
where
Mm.
in a show where they like where you have like the villains like loving like everybody 12 and under. I was like, what we love the most is the one that acts like a little brat.
But anything else anyone has to add to this show?
I do actually. I do have a fan that wants to make a comment. She wanted at least. Oh, I think she said that actually. But she did want to say that she really liked a recommendation for Darling. Was it Dress Up Darling? Yeah, it's like she really liked it. Like she just went straight into it,
Mm,
and she ended up liking it a lot. Like she barely caught up today about it, and
nice,
she liked it a lot. So
nice,
like she wanted to thank you so much.
awesome, great to hear. Yeah, that's
So
cool to
yeah, I
hear.
mean, as far as yeah, like she really liked it, and I mean, just overall the anime, like I did like it. I did watch it come from like start to full when I saw it. So like it is pretty good. Like I do understand there's certain aspects like it doesn't like stand out per se. Like at least to me personally,
Mm,
but like you won't like be bored or anything. Like
yeah,
it's just like
exactly.
it's something that you would watch to kind of pass the time, and it'll keep you entertained. Um, and like that's like pretty much that you like at least I would say that to expect.
All right.
One more thing before, um, the relationship. Why Gurren treats Shinoa the way he does, if
Mm,
you don't mind.
Yeah.
The demon that's in Gurren's sword is Shinoa's older sister.
mm.
Shinoa's older sister was in love with Gurren.
Oh, I
I
don't
forgot
remember
the whole.
that. I
Yeah.
also don't know. I like they don't they because in the 5 episodes they don't talk about where like the demons come from. So like the fact that they like came from people, like it's very interesting.
Damn, my
Like
guy's
I
really
forgot about
clapping
that.
demon cheeks. Shit.
I think we see her once, but that's not until like way later.
Oh, okay.
I mean, just knowing that alone makes me want to like watch it again.
But I'd say this all's pretty good, you know. It's not like the greatest thing you will ever see in your life, but you know, fucking 15-year-old me was like, this shit's awesome.
Yeah. Put it this way.
Yeah, when did
It's
this come
it's a
out?
vampire anime that isn't cringe.
Yeah.
There you go.
Actually. Yeah.
There you go. That should be enough to get you to watch it.
This came out in 2015. First episode, well, the dub came out in 2015. So 2014. August 28th. I'm not
Nice.
mistaken.
Yeah, and considering like since it's been out like for 7-8 years, like
Yeah.
it's not bad.
Holds up.
Holds up.
But will your anime hold up, James? What are we watching next
You know,
time?
yeah. Oh, yeah, I forgot to get a picture. Give me a second.
Fuck.
I
Run,
have it.
John.
Like I have it. I know. I give me like 2 seconds, guys. Actually, exactly. I actually picked this one out. I was gonna pick it in a while. It actually is a little bit older. I want to say like early 2000s, 90s. So I don't know if Jay, you watched it. Liza, you might have watched it. But it's
Oh,
called
god damn it.
Oran High School Host
Close
Club.
club.
Oh boy.
Oh,
And like
you've jumped
if
into
Jay, you
the right
haven't seen it,
game.
I hope you would interest it. I hope you guys, when you guys watch it together, I hope you guys have a good time. And yeah, I mean, like I hope anybody that like that knows about it or like watches it, like it's a very classic dear to me. I always come back to it a lot, especially like when I just want to rewatch something. It is something I always come back to. There's certain like episodes I always come back to the most, and like in general, like it's been a minute since I've watched it from start to finish, and like it was a little refreshing because I did rewatch it today, even like 5 episodes, and like there's a lot of stuff that I even missed that I didn't remember. But yeah, I hope you guys like it.
Oh boy.
That side doesn't give me anything. That side doesn't sound
Oh,
good.
it's just like
Yeah, I don't
memories,
know.
bro.
I,
I
it's
dated a girl that was
memories. It's what
obsessed with the twins. Oh my god.
yeah, I'm sure you'll tell you all about it.
Oh boy. Good show though, good show. Let's see if it holds up. So tune in
Hmm.
next time when
I
we join Haruhi on her adventures in the Orin High School Host Club. See you then.
See ya.
Bye.
See you guys, and if you see me on WonderCon, I'll be here today and tomorrow. But because of timing, it's almost closing right now, so I don't know if I'll be able to finish up today. But I'll be here all day tomorrow here at the WonderCon Anaheim Convention Center. And like, if you say hi or see me, like I'll be around.
I already turned the thing off.
Oh.
No, I'm fucking with you. There it is.
I'm still gonna advertise it on my Instagram. The JB_23. I'm just gonna at least I'm gonna put it on Instagram today. I'm just gonna like just put it out there, and if like you see me, cool, say hi. Like it'd always be cool. And like who knows, I'll just put it on the social media, just tag us, and I don't know. I was just gonna play around with that.
Be pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah,
But see you guys next time. Bye.
yeah.
Bye
Hey,
bye.
enjoy your rest of your days.